Good morning, welcome to this devotion. So the holidays are over. Christmas trimmings are packed away till next year. The New Year's promises that we made, they seem to be fading away. And the family that visited is now just fond memories. And what I find most interesting is watching our toddler. The joy that he found in the toys he got at Christmas, they seems to be fading too. These battery operated toys, they're a little bit quieter, they're a little bit slower, and even the other toys that brought him great joy, he's not so interested in them anymore as he was a few weeks ago. And that reminds me and prompts me to think about what is the source of our joy. My great joy is coming home in the evening and having supper with the family, and even that's fragile because I have a tough day at work, or Phyllis has a tough day, and the joy is not quite as it should be. So fragile. Another source of joy is speaking to the kids that are far from home. After I've chatted to them, I'm over the moon and ecstatic. But it's also fragile because let them not take my call, or let them tell me about a tough day they had, and the joy is not there as it should be. The joy is so fragile. Reading the newspaper has become a source of alarm. So what do we do? Do we avoid it? Do we not read News 24? Or do we keep up to it and understand what the currency or current market is doing? And it's so draining. So the question then comes, what should our source of joy be? Because our resources, they can't be the source of joy. There's too many traps set along that path. And people around us, even our loved ones, they cannot be our source of joy, because that source of joy is very fragile, and we give away power if we look for joy in people around us, and it's dangerous to give power away. So what should our source of joy be? And this is not a new question. This question is old as time itself. In ancient Israel, they have what is called a year of Jubilee. It's every 50th year, also known as the year of the Lord's favor. And the Jews were instructed to observe this year of Jubilee every 50 years, where they were told to return land that was inherited, that's been sold to them. They must give it back to people that inherited it. People that were in debt, they were told to write off debts. Slaves and servants that were trapped in debt traps were told to write off and set them free. The year of Jubilee, the year of the Lord, was a great year of joy for people being set free. But the sad part is that there's very little record of them actually carrying it out. So about 700 BC, there's this prophet by the name of Isaiah who speaks against the nation for spiritualizing the year of Jubilee and not making it something real, not carrying out the instructions to the letter. And then I want to jump 700 years later to the time when Jesus was on earth. Now the Bible tells us that Jesus starts his ministry by going to his hometown and reading a scripture there. Set the tone for his plan, set the tone for what Jesus is on earth for. And in Gospel of Luke chapter 4, Luke records what Jesus did. Jesus goes into the synagogue in his hometown, and he opens this ancient scroll where it records what Isaiah said to the nation. And I'm reading from Luke chapter 4, verses 18 and 19. The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, recovery of sight for the blind, to release the oppressed, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. Jesus looks around him after reading the scroll. He rolls it up and gives it back, and he looks around him and he says, today that has been fulfilled. And I love it, because that is our source of joy. That is my source of joy. Jesus doesn't theorize or spiritualize the freedom from sin. And Jesus doesn't theorize or spiritualize our relationship with God. Jesus physically dies, and he reinstates our relationship with God. And then we start becoming, or not only do we receive all the benefits of the year of Jubilee, but then we start becoming agents of him. We start giving good news, and we start being the good news to the poor. We start helping prisoners and sick people. We become part of the people that relieve other people that are oppressed. We realize that and then we realize that we are wired to find joy in this. We realize that we are wired to find joy in helping others. We realize that joy comes from a relationship with God, and this joy becomes very real and even deeper, I would suppose, as we start helping people around us. And the beauty about joy is that joy feeds joy. And our source of joy is safe with God. And our joy starts multiplying within us as we find joy in helping others, as we find joy in a relationship with God. And our circumstances don't dictate our joy. Neither do the batteries or the novelty of our toys. They don't dictate our joy. Our joy is in the Lord. People around us can add to the joy, but they're not the source of our joy. Knowing that God's hand is all around us in every part of our life, that is the source of our joy. May you find the joy God intended for you when you help others. And may you learn to settle in this hope, this peace, this joy, and this love that God has available for each of us. May you find true joy in the joy of the Lord. Till we meet again, God bless.